So as you can see, lots of twists and turns in Maharashtra's politics, and where does the state now head? Joining me now, Prithviraj Chavan, former Maharashtra Chief Minister, Congress MLA, joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Chavan. Are you surprised with all that's happened on this Sunday? Because we've been observing in Maharashtra the possibility of Ajit Pawar leaving for the longest time. So has this caught you and the MVA, the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, a bit off guard?
No, Rajdeep, to tell you the truth, this was on the cards because there was no way in the world that BJP would have faced the combined onslaught of MVA, whether in Lok Sabha election or any other election. They have not been able to hold the local body election for 1.5 years. They're overdue because there's just no way they can face the total numbers of the three political parties. So they had to work on destroying the MBA, breaking one of the constituents. I had even publicly stated so in my Nipani election speech when I had gone to campaign in Karnataka, because we all knew the hobnobbing that was going on between Ajit Pawar and the top leadership of BJP, facilitated by the Maharashtra BJP leaders. This is all known. They were only negotiating the terms of the breakup from NCP. There were many ED cases against many leaders, so those cases had to be dropped. Then what position they would get, what would be their future, would they all get tickets to contest the next assembly election? All this nitty-gritty of power sharing was being discussed. We are not still sure whether the final power sharing formula is known, because the
but they've got, no, 1 minute. You're saying they haven't discussed the final. No, what is left to discuss? 9 NCP MLAs, 9 NCP individuals have become ministers today.
Let me just one small point.
Yes.
The verdict on the Eknath Shinde defection matter will have to be delivered by the Speaker before 10th of August. Because that's the 90-day deadline.
Yes.
After the Supreme Court remitted the matter back to Speaker. That time, there is no way that Mr. Eknath Shinde can escape disqualification. So this is going to happen any time before 10th of August. It could happen next month. It could happen this month. So this is a plan of what happens when 18 MLAs first and then 26 MLAs of Eknath Shinde group gets disqualified, because they will have to be disqualified. Now,
one minute, sir. Let's get this clear. You're telling me that before August 10th, your expectation is that some of the MLAs of the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, or the Shiv Sena group, let's call it the Shiv Sena, which is its, will be disqualified by the Speaker. There's a huge question mark on that. This is a BJP Speaker, sir, Rahul Narvekar. But you're saying
have to be, but there is a law of the land also.
No, law of the land, sir.
The Supreme Court has very clearly said that everything is violated. But technically, the disqualification matter lies with the Speaker of the Assembly. So it has been remitted back to the Speaker of the Assembly. He'll have to rule. Now, he may as well rule in favor of BJP. But then we are free to approach the Supreme Court again.
No, but so are you telling me, Mr. Chavan, that you believe this was plan B? That if this effectively, by getting the NCP on their side, you believe that the dependence on the Shiv Sena is over, and the BJP therefore has a new power partner in the NCP. Plus, you're saying before the 2024 Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections, they could not afford to have the existing MVA together. Am I correct?
Yeah, both things are correct. Number one, this is a plan B in case Eknath Shinde's group of 16 MLAs get disqualified, including Mr. Eknath Shinde himself. That possibility cannot be ruled out. They have clearly violated the anti-defection law, the 10th schedule. The second thing, they also wanted to weaken the existing MVA, which they succeeded when a large group of about maybe 35 plus MLAs leave the NCP. But now the battle now starts on the street. Just like Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is fighting a battle on the streets to define who the real Shiv Sena is, Mr. Sharad Pawar has vowed in his press conference today that he'll hit the road tomorrow morning. He's coming to my constituency, coming to Karad. He will take darshan of Yeshwantrao Chavan Samadhi, and he'll start his campaign from tomorrow.
No, that's all very well. Prithviraj Chavan, Sharad Pawar starting his campaign from tomorrow, but it comes at a time when his party has imploded. Majority of the MLAs are going with Ajit Pawar. There is a feeling that Mr. Pawar at 83 will find it difficult to rebuild the party, and B, There's a belief that Mr. Pawar was not entirely unaware of what was happening. He knew what was happening. Some of his closest aides, the likes of Dilip Valse Patil, Praful Patel have switched over. Is Mr. Pawar fully on board with the MVA, or are you, or has he kept all options open?
Well, look, I have to believe what Mr. Pawar said. He's a very senior politician in our state, in the country. Now, if you go with the premise that he's lying to all of us, then it's a different matter. But I have to go by the fact that he addressed a press conference. He told that he did not know about it, that he will fight against this group and they'll be taught a lesson. There's, of course, another matter pending, whether Ajit Pawar indeed has the support of 36 MLAs required for the two-third number. Now, Mr. Pawar in his press conference has said that many people have called him, that their signatures were taken surreptitiously, they'll come and meet him again, they are with Mr. Pawar only. So ultimate number, the magic number of 36, does Mr. Ajit Pawar has that number, or something else will come up tomorrow?
No, but then if that is the case, but, let's be clear. Why did Mr. Pawar not suspend Praful Patel, Ajit Pawar from the party? You see, when he did the press conference today, and in a moment I'll play that press conference clip again, he did seem as someone who's facing a major crisis. He seemed to be rather cool about it.
No, but he said, if you want to believe him, of course, you know his political background better than anybody. You know how twists and turns is taken. But he at least ostensibly told us that he has called a meeting of his executive committee on the 6th, which is just a few days later. Mm-hmm. And any major decision to expel senior leaders like a vice president or a general secretary or a secretary will have to be taken in that meeting. He was at pains to explain that we have a constitution and I can't take a random decision to off with your head kind of a decision. That will be decided in a working committee or whatever the executive committee meeting that there. We'll have to believe him. Now, supposing if you start displaying every politician, then it's a different matter. I would like to believe what he's saying.
I have stopped, I must qualify. I have stopped believing Maharashtra politicians, because Maharashtra politicians in the last 4 years have done all kinds of trapeze acts.
You include some of them, not everybody.
No, but my question to you, Mr. Chavan, is where does this leave the MVA? Where does this leave this Mahagadbandhan, this whole opposition alliance that was building up? Here is Mr. Pawar fighting on his to save his home turf, and there was talk that he would become convener of the MVA.
No, I don't know about the convener and all that. That meeting will happen in Bangalore later on, and of course he'll have to fight to save his turf. But yes, it weakens the MVA to the extent that certain number of MLAs who would have been campaigning along with us will now campaign against us. Mm-hmm. To that extent, we are weakened. But ultimately, the battle will be fought in the streets of Mumbai, will be fought in the streets of Maharashtra, the villages of Maharashtra. And you know what happened in Karnataka. People don't like this government formed by treachery, by buying and selling MLAs and this horse trading and all that. They don't like it. Mm-hmm. So I think the ultimate verdict of what people want to react to the NCP split will be known only later on when elections are held. But yes, it's we'll have to take a call. It's not a very happy situation for us. There is a hemorrhaging of the MVA alliance, but MVA alliance, whatever shape its remaining shape, remains intact and will fight the communal forces.
Therefore, do you see any further breaks taking place, including in your Congress party? There's talk of some Congress MLAs also being restive and looking at the possibility of switching over.
Well, this talk has been going on for a very long time. But as per the anti-defection law, out of 45 Congress MLAs, 30 will have to defect. Now, that I think highly improbable, but the talk is there. Yes, you're right. There's a lot of ED pressure on some of the people, and the group which has defected from NCP, I call it a ED group. The people who are all facing ED heat, those people are left to...
You're calling it NCP ED? You're calling it NCP ED, is it?
Yeah, NCP ED group, yeah. ED faction.
ED faction, NCP ED faction. Mr. Chavan, that will stir up another controversy. You're virtually suggesting that all of these people have left only because of the fear of the ED.
Well, you know the number of people who have been raided by ED. Now, do I have to recount you the names? They're all in newspapers and all that. And I was told also that these people met Mr. Pawar. Some of them told him that it's impossible for us to continue because we're facing heat. Our family members are being interrogated. They will be put behind bars. So I think ED has a major role to play. And interestingly, Rajdeep, just 2 days before in Bhopal conclave, Prime Minister by name named NCP leader saying that there should be 70,000 crore fraud. He named the state bank matter. He named the irrigation scam. He named Mr. Pawar by name. But you know very well who was involved in the irrigation scam as well as the state cooperative bank scam. Now, these very people who are involved in these matters, who are facing ED inquiries on specifically on the matter mentioned by the Prime Minister in Bhopal, those people are now become high office holders.
No, but Prithviraj, Prithviraj Chavan, with one correction, Mr. Ajit Pawar was Deputy Chief Minister when you were Chief Minister, and that's
Yes.
when Devendra Fadnavis accused him in the ED scam. So let's be clear, when they were in when they were part of your government, these
There
cases
was no
have come
ED scam in my time. No, there was no ED scam.
No, irrigation
what
scam.
I did was, I ordered a white paper. The white paper is not an inquiry. The white paper is just a statement of what is happening in the Maharashtra irrigation sector. Unfortunately, many people in Maharashtra did not understand the meaning of a white paper. They thought it's an inquiry. It was not. A very excellent paper was produced by the irrigation department themselves to tell why.
Do you believe Ajit Pawar? Do you believe Ajit Pawar is involved in irrigation irregularities? Yes or no?
I think that is being investigated by the police now. Mr. R.R. Patil, who was the then Home Minister, he gave permission for open inquiry to be held against Mr. Ajit Pawar in my government.
Do you believe that the likes of Ajit Pawar, Praful Patel have switched to the BJP because of the cases against them?
Well, that is what we are saying, and we'll go out and hit the road and tell that this is the ED faction.
Okay.
They're afraid of ED because of that only. They just to get laundered. Now you heard of money laundering. This is minister laundering.
Okay, let's leave it there. Those are very, very strong words that you've just used on my show today, claiming that the ED faction of the NCP is the one that has left the party. You will stir up a bit of a hornet's nest, Mr. Chavan, by saying
Rajdeep, that. You know, Mr. Bhujbal was imprisoned for 2.5 years.
Yes, I am aware Mr. Bhujbal was imprisoned. Hassan Mushrif is on interim bail. Ajit Pawar faces charges. Praful Patel faces charges. I'll leave it to them to answer those charges. But you've really set the terms of the debate today. I appreciate Prithviraj Chavan joining us. You insist the MVA will stay together. We'll wait and see whether that really happens.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.